What's good, everybody? My name is Cooley,
My name is B Stu.
and this is the Moving on Purpose podcast, man. We appreciate y'all for locking in with us, tuning in. Go ahead, make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tap your neighbor on the shoulder. Say, neighbor.
Spread the word.
Spread the word, man. Let them know, man. We starting something. This is the beginning of it, and it's only going to grow from here. All right, so just to kind of let y'all know who you're listening to, man. Again, my name is Cooley. I am from Houston, Texas. I grew up on the north side of Houston in Studewood. And we got two people from two completely different sides of the United States, man.
Yeah, my name is B Stu. I'm from LA, South Central. So yeah, two different places.
Two different places,
states,
man.
But we relate on all the same. So
Yeah. One thing in common, man, is we both trying to live and move on our purpose, man. So what you can expect from this show, man, is us basically peeling back the layers of fatherhood, being a husband, working in law enforcement, and just life's ups and downs, man. Life's ups and downs.
regular people, man.
Yeah,
We're
regular people, man.
sharing regular stories.
Exactly.
To help you get through whatever that you're going through. We've gone through it. Many people go through it. So it's just an outlet to vent and share information.
Yeah, for sure, man. Tell you what, we're not. We are not subject matter experts. Well, I guess we could. You could say we could be subject matter experts in law enforcement, and we'll get into a little bit of that in a little bit, man. But as far as like, I don't have a PhD in marriage and how to be a husband. I'm figuring out as I go, man.
Life experiences, man. You ain't got to be an expert, but you just have to go through it. You live and you learn, trial and error.
And I'm a
that's
firm
what we
believer.
sharing.
Firm believer that your testimony, my testimony, you should never take it for granted because you never know how a storm that you went through and you came out on the other side dry. Mm-hmm. You can share that with somebody else and it'll help them get through it too. Yep. All right. With that in mind, man, let's jump into it. The first topic we want to talk about, man, is what? What we jumping into?
Man, we're going to talk about life balances, man. How do you balance work, family, health, financial? We're going to talk about balance all around.
Okay, so with balance, man, I'll share this. So one of my officers, she shared a video with me earlier this week, man, and it really hit home, and it kind of put things into perspective. I want to share with y'all. So it was a guy. He had 4 cups on the table, right? And the way he said is, he said, "Look, in a perfect world, we want to pour into our wives first because they're kind of the rock of the household. They keep things going when we're not there." So you want to pour a little bit in there, right? Okay. The next thing you want to pour into is your kids, right? The family as a whole, as a unit. Pour a little bit more in there, right? Mm-hmm. The next thing is yourself. You trying to figure out what your purpose is. You trying to figure out what your gift is. And you having those hobbies that you kind of dig into. Pour some in there. Lastly is your career. He said you pour that. After you look at it on the table.
How does it balance out?
All even. All even, right? That's in a perfect world. That's what we're all trying to do. That's what I'm continuing to try and do. Better every day, right? But the mistake that a lot of us make is we start on the right. And we start in that career because that's what brings us money. That's what pays the bills. So you pour, and he poured in that first cup and then went all the way up. And then because you're so tired with that first cup, you got to make sure you take care of yourself. You got to go have your outlet to stress relief because of the stress that you have from going and chasing, the money. Yeah. He poured all of that in there. When he got ready to pour it into the kids, he didn't have much left. Okay. And then he didn't have anything left for his wife. And that imbalance.
That sounds like no balance right there.
That sounds like smoke in the city, bro. That's exactly what that sounds like, right?
Oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah, so what we want to encourage everybody to do, man, and what I'm trying to, like I said, I'm not perfect. What we are 2 imperfect individuals trying to navigate this thing we call life and help y'all figure it out as well. You got to have that balance. I'll start with law enforcement first. Okay. For y'all that don't know, I've been on 14 years. I'm a sergeant. I work in Houston, right? My guy here, he just got on as well. How long you been on?
For a year.
For about 30 minutes. He been on about 30 minutes. That's a year, right? So we have 2 completely different perspectives, right? And that's the beauty of it.
Rookie and the vet right there.
I guess. They say you ain't a vet till you got 20 years on, so I'm almost there, right?
Almost.
So, but the thing that we have in common is the way we the lens that we look through, the way that he polices, the way that he goes out and interacts with the public, the way that I interact with the public. And that's why it's easy for us to kind of come on here in jail. But the trap that a lot of young officers fall into, that I was guilty of falling into myself.
Extra jobs.
Them extra jobs.
Yeah.
That will throw your balance off quick.
I mean, because the money's right there is easy money. But you also, it's an extra job.
It is.
So you got to go to work first. You got to have your job in order to have the extra job.
That's true.
That means you either working an 8-hour shift or a 10-hour shift. and then you're going to go do another 4 to 6.
Yeah.
So right there, you just burning yourself out.
You will. You
know,
will. You
so-
can. That's why you gotta
You got to
pick and choose.
navigate properly.
So one of my godfather told me like this: with the extra jobs, man, I'm like a floozy. I'm choosy, right? I don't just take anything. And I didn't know that when I first started, brother.
you
like,
say yes to everything.
man, the Radio Shack. I'm aging myself, but
Sheesh.
Radio Shack, they was robbing them.
For those
And
that
so-
don't know, explain what Radio Shack is.
Radio
man.
Shack, Circuit City, okay? These
Damn,
were
man.
our electronic.
You showing your age, man. Don't say nothing else from back then, man. God.
These were the stores that you would go to, like Best Buy. Best Buy kind of has monopolized the game.
Now you
Fry's,
now you talking to my audience.
Remember Fry's?
Like, I remember
Fry's is closed as well.
Yep.
Okay. So now all you have is Best Buy. That's where you go buy your electronics. Circuit City, they were kind of a smaller Best Buy. Right.
Yeah.
So you would go there, buy electronics, cameras, not so much video games, but there was some expensive stuff in there. So guys were robbing them. Well, where there's opportunity for security, right?
Right.
So they were like, hey, we need officers bad. So I was like, man, let me see. So I put my name in the hat, got a call back, and the guy was like, I got 4 days available. I said, I'll take all of them. Give me all of them. I didn't know.
You don't want to leave nothing on the table, huh?
Nothing, brother. I got to get all the
Good.
crumbs. I don't want to eat. I don't want to leave nothing. If
I
there's
got a
food on there, I
question.
got to eat.
How fast did you burn out?
I burnt out quick, very quick.
Month, two?
I say about a week and a half.
Damn.
I had a pillow in my back seat, and I was working night shift, so I was going to work. I was working,
Yeah.
and then I had that pillow in the back, and I would take a nap. I would wake up, brush my teeth, put some mouthwash in, throw some water on my face, and then go to work. That's when I realized I was doing too much.
So let me ask you this: was that money worth it?
It was not.
Okay.
It was not, and it took. I learned very early on that I only work, like we said, you work your 8 hours. This is extra money. So we don't want young officers and people that think about going into law enforcement. You don't want to fall into that trap of this is I can pay my bills with this extra money.
Real quick, elaborate on that. You saying
Okay.
it's extra money. So explain to the young officers out there what not to do with extra money. Do not rely on that money and don't burn yourself out. Because if you're burning yourself out, that means you're not going to be fresh for
That
the
cup
main
gonna be
job.
empty. That cup is gonna be empty.
So if you don't have that main job, you can't work the extra job.
You can't.
So
You can't. And so you have your 8 hour day, your 10 hour, 12 hour shift, whatever it is that you have. Once you get off, the rest of the day is yours. You got to have sleep in there somewhere, but
I hope.
you can work. And most departments have like a 16-hour rule, which they only allow you to work that
Cap.
much so that you're not at work falling asleep and it becomes a danger to you and others, right?
Yeah.
So you can go make your money. You see people at the mall, clubs, restaurants,
Yeah,
anywhere that there's police presence needed, that's an opportunity for you to make additional money, an additional stream of income, right? But like you said, it's a trap. What a lot of officers do is, oh man, look at all this money coming in. I got this permanent extra job. I know every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, that money's gonna be there. Well, it's only there till it's not. All it takes is for you to hurt yourself at work or get sick and you can't work there. And now you done got this big mortgage or this motorcycle or this truck that you was paying for
pay.
with your extra job, and now you can't afford it anymore and you're stressing yourself out.
Yep.
So it's very important that you maintain that balance, man, and keep the main thing. Like you said, you got your mainstream of income. You don't want to burn the candle at both ends because you got to have enough left to get to your kids. You got to have enough left to give to your wife so that you don't end up working extra jobs divorced if you are married like we are.
I mean, because that money just going to go in the divorce, so you working to give it away anyway. So you might as well keep it together. But let's transition into the balance with your wife. Now, how do you balance with work? We went from work and extra jobs and just working. Now, how do you find that time to be there for your wife?
I'm still figuring it out, man. You tell me, and then I'll jump in. How do you balance it? Since I'm answering first, you tell me how you've been doing it so far, because you've had a coaching career before you came to law enforcement, which is a very high demand job. Long hours. You know what I mean? A lot of traveling. So how did you balance that, and how are you carrying that over into your career in law enforcement?
I think my career in coaching kind of helped me because you learn how to say no. You know, because you can get so tied up in, like you said, with extra jobs, same thing in coaching, where you want to just do everything. You want to network, but it's the meaningful relationships that you need. Every relationship's not going to turn into something. So you have to know how to navigate and to say no. So that way you saying no can give you that time at home with your wife, or date night, or just being able to listen and ask her how her day was and actually listen. Because you can count on your hands how many times that you're trying to listen, but you're so tired that it's just going in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
So being present and actually being there means something, in the balance.
It does,
So,
man. And I mean, I'm still figuring that out. I'm a purpose driven person. I'm a goal driven person, and a lot of times early in my career, that would work against me. Not only would I be doing my job, but I'm like, man, I need to be doing something more, like giving back to the community. I need to be doing something more, bringing more money in. But trying to figure something out, like, because time is money. It may not necessarily be you working an extra job in uniform, but if you're in school, if you're doing something that's got your attention away from your wife, something that's got your attention away from your kids,
it's going to cause problems.
That's going to cause problems, man. So
it might not be at the beginning, but eventually it's going to cause problems that you're going to have to address. And if you don't catch it early enough, it could be so far gone that you can't change it. Like you said, it might be into divorce. You might lose that relationship with your kids. So it's just about kind of catching it early and kind of realizing and being honest with yourself. Yeah. Like, we're human.
We are.
We have a battery, and we can't burn our battery out trying to extend ourselves everywhere. It doesn't work.
You ain't got nothing left at home.
You ain't got nothing left at home. You just at home, just dead, and then you're like, alarm go off, I got to rush and I get ready for work again. Yeah. So it's just about saying no. All money's not good money. For me, what's important is spending that time outside of work. Work is cool. I'll make my money. It's gonna provide for me financially to make me comfortable. But what fuels me and what keeps me going with good energy and positive energy is seeing the smiles on my wife's face, my kids' face, the moments, being able to do certain things, date nights, taking the kids, do different activities. Yeah. That's what's important to me. Like, doing stuff like that, that makes me happy, and it kind of rejuvenizes me to keep going.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm constantly going to juggle that, and I do better at times than I do at other times, right? But one of the things one of my mentors told me is be intentional. Okay. Make sure you're intentional. By being intentional, there's nothing wrong with, like, there's no judgment here if you set reminders in your phone on a monthly basis to, hey, plan a date. Hey, plan something for the kids. Yeah. Hey, do something, because until you kind of reprogram yourself to do it without thinking twice about it.
It has to be a ritual.
It does.
Like, when it's a routine, it's forced. But when it's a ritual, it's just natural. It just happens. You don't really have to, like you said, the planning. It's just like you feel it. Like, okay, we due for a date. We got to go. It's been like a week or two, and we haven't done anything. Let's just get this going. I shouldn't have let it go on that long, but it's my job to make sure the balance goes, because our job is demanding. So it's kind of hard to plan around stuff, the different events, the circumstances that we go through. Sometimes we might have to work 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts, and stuff like that. But if we're able to control what we can control, and when we have that time and we maximize it, I think it gives you a good balance to keeping, happiness within your home.
I look at it too as well, and I agree with you. I look at it as like locking in. Like, if we athletes, right? We play basketball, play football collegiately, right? And it's easy for us to put that song on. It's us forgetting the zone. Like, we know it's game time. It's time to lock in. We focus on the task at hand.
That discipline.
It's that discipline, right? Yeah. And it's like a muscle. I think that it takes consistency. It takes routine, like you said. Yeah. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you're getting pulled in several different directions, you got to make sure that you prioritize your family and your wife first. Yeah. And
always,
it goes a long way. And I'll say this, like, I'm a supervisor in law enforcement, and I'm constantly making decisions at work. I'm constantly helping this person, telling that person do this, guiding that person, giving feedback. And when I get home, I fall victim of, like, man, I just want to unplug and just not use my brain. But that's not fair to my wife. That's not fair to my kids. So when I'm in the driveway, I'll take a deep breath. I lock in. Like, it's time to give them the same energy that you gave them people at work.
Leave work at work.
Exactly. Now, I'm not saying, of course, we don't bring that home, but you got to turn that off and then turn dad and turn husband on, right? And this right here is a distraction. This right here can make you feel like you have an escape from reality. You can get on there, you can scroll, you can be looking at something constructive too, but that's time and energy that you're not giving to your wife. So you got to, when she starts talking, man, I try my best. Yeah. I'm right here. I'm locked in.
I do one even better. I just put it somewhere in the house. So if I'm at home and somebody hits me up and I don't answer, it's because I put my phone somewhere where I'm not constantly just checking for it and stuff like that. Just the little things. Yeah. The little habits create better habits. So
It goes a long way, man. It goes a long way. So we talked about wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
How about the family, man? How about the
Get
kids?
to the kids, man.
The
Let's
kids.
get to the kids. So, how do you balance the kids?
Man, like you said, routine. I know if she picks them up or I pick them up, I know as soon as I get home, it's homework time.
Yeah.
Let's get to this homework. Let's get this snack. Let's go ahead and take care of what we need to take care of, whether it be tutoring or practice or this, that, and the other. I know that's like a second. I wouldn't say a job. That's a responsibility I know I have.
Yeah.
So I try and make the most out of it. I try and make it memorable for them. I try and make it fun for them. And then even when they were smaller, like you have younger babies than me. Like I looked forward to bedtime. Like nobody can ever say, nobody can ever say that I wasn't an active father because I embraced that because I didn't have that growing up.
Yeah.
So like I would read a story to them every night before they went to sleep. We saying our prayers. I'm tucking them in. I would do bath time. I would play Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Dad duties.
Yeah.
You was
dad mode.
locked in and you did everything.
Dad mode.
That makes you proud at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like those are things that you're proud moments. You know, so if you have those moments and you cherish that time with the kids, like for me, I take it a step deeper. For me, I came from a 2-parent household and they worked, 9 to 5. So certain things they weren't able to do because they work. So for me, now being a parent, I want to make sure I'm able to do certain things and be there and have those moments, just like you said, bath time, story time, tuck them in for bed. I want to be there for those, so that's how I try to balance. And I'm a big kid myself.
Yeah.
So I'm full of energy, I'm playful, and it rubs off with the kids. Sometimes it's like, oh, dad's like a big friend. I'm like, still dad.
Yeah. Still got to listen one time.
Let's have fun while we're doing it.
Exactly.
Make everything fun, whether you're teaching them something or they just you trying to figure something out. But for me, it's just about having fun and just having that good energy.
Man, I went on a leadership retreat. It was like 4 days, like out of town.
Get paid
to the
big
country.
bucks.
Yeah, well, man, we actually got sponsored. So went to the out of town. They took our phones, locked them up. We didn't have any direct contact with our parents.
Ain't that the best though?
It really was.
Like when you don't have your phone, and you have a peace of mind.
It was.
No distractions.
But it allowed you to kind of reconnect with yourself and just be disconnected from all of the noise and all of the distractions of every day, right? But one of the things that really kind of put things into perspective for me, it was an exercise they had us do. Like if we were sitting, we would be sitting like right in front of each other. And we had to close our eyes. We had to kind of meditate. We had to listen to what they were telling us to do. They said, all right, it's this day. This is the weather. Okay, I want you to go and you see this, you see that. And as we walk up, we open the door and you see a lot of people. And then you go through these double doors and you look and it's packed. And as you walk up the aisle, you come to the end of the aisle and you see a coffin. And that coffin is yours. And your family is there and it's your funeral. Ask yourself, all of the things that you do, all of the things that occupy your energy, what are they going to say about you when they get up there and speak at your funeral? Is it going to be, Daddy had this many degrees, Daddy had this many extra jobs, my husband was a hard worker, he did this, people at work. The people at work might show up, they might not. But the most important people are your family. And so, like I'm talking tears rolling, snot bubbles. We out there like going through it, brother. And like it really like made me like
open your eyes, gave you different.
It did, and it made me. My wife said you put a lot of irons in the fire. It made me unplug a lot of things, unplug myself from a lot of things. And I was in the middle of my PhD. I had 2 classes down. I was about to start my 3rd one, and I had a flashback of me finishing up papers and like my son like, all right, son, I get what you just let Daddy finish this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, if I die tomorrow, he's not going to get up there and talk about all them pelts on the wall, those awards, those degrees. He's going to talk about Daddy was out there with me shooting the ball and getting rebounds.
Daddy was things.
Exactly. Daddy was talking to me. He took me to the barbershop. He did this. He did that. And I feel like as men, that's a trap that we fall into because we want to be providers. We want to be protectors. Yeah. And it's easy to fall into that and think that, man, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Nah, man, it's a lot more that comes with it.
It's a lot more.
It's a lot more that comes with it.
I mean, it's a new time and a new era of parenting and just being a father. You know what I'm saying? It's not like back in the day where it's just like I go to work, I provide, I did my job. Now you got.
I got a family on the other side of town, fences.
I gotta be there emotionally for the kids because that's what they need the most. Mental health is important now, and these kids are exposed to a lot more. So if you're not there mentally and emotionally for your kids, you're doing them a disservice.
You are.
You know,
you are.
so
and you're gonna see. I mean, you're gonna see it. Like, I've been on long enough to see there's so many police officers that just like, well, I go and get this money, I go and get that money, I take them on trips, I do this, I do that. They don't want for
I
nothing.
don't care about that stuff.
But then when
You're
they
not there when you at home.
10 years pass by,
Yeah.
and you go home and you in the house with strangers, you don't even know your kids.
As they get older, yeah.
Like
you're missing those moments.
How many people have you run into? Because I grew up in a single parent household. It was just me, my mom, and my sister. And I wish I had that father there. But I've come across a lot of people, a lot of kids of police officers that was like, I had both parents, but
the other parent really wasn't there.
He was there, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you have to be present, man, because you only get them when they're this age.
I mean, you molding them for morals and values right now. But you're also getting to experience them growing up. You get to see them grow in stages. So if you could turn your head and get super busy, and then they go from 7 to 8 to 12 to 13 to now they out of high school, and you like, damn, where'd the time go?
Right. The barometer for me, my oldest daughter, she was 1 when I was in the academy.
Okay.
Barely walking, barely talking. When I would come home, she wobbling around, getting into stuff. She's a freshman in high school now. And she's taller than her mom. And, like, I'm dropping her off every morning, and I just watch her going to school, and I'm like, wait, man, when did this happen?
I remember the times when she was 1.
When did this happen? We had the potty song. Like, I was teaching her how to potty. I remember teaching her how to read and tire shoe.
If you didn't learn that balance, you would have missed all that. So you had more balance than you thought you did because you were able to remember those moments of her stages of growth.
Yeah.
So you got to give yourself credit for that.
I feel like our parents mold that in us, right?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, my mom was there, but my mom worked 2 jobs. We didn't have a car. She was on the metro. Yeah. And she would work at McDonald's and she would work at Kroger. She would go from one to the other, never complained. But the thing that I remember is, even no matter how tired she got,
at that time,
she made every game I played, every basketball game.
That's all you remember, though.
That's all I remember is being able to look in the stands and know that I could see my mom there, and like that meant the world to me.
My mom was the same, man. She worked, for the county 9 to 5, a lot of hours, but any athletic event, I played basketball. She was there. She found a way to be at my games, whether she was recording or being there, which went a long way, because then you got your teammates and stuff, and you got their parents. And their parents are not able to show up because they have to work or they're obligated to do other things and whatnot. So when you're younger, you don't understand it. But as you get older, you cherish those moments. We like, it's the small things. Just showing up, knowing mom's just tired. Know she had a long day. Now we on the other side of it. We have a long shift, and we like, damn, I had to deal with that today. Yeah. But she was still able to be there, cheer me on, make sure I was good. And that's what you remember. As a kid,
to me. It meant the world to me.
Because we talk about it now as I'm an adult, and I'm like, man, thank you.
I tell my mom the same thing.
I love you. Thank you for showing me how to be a great parent, a great person. Just thank you.
And if I can encourage anybody that's working in law enforcement that's watching this, any husband that's out here grinding and thinking that providing and getting the money is all that's important. Man, do not miss this opportunity with your kids, because those are core memories.
Husband and a wife.
Husband and wife. Like I said, it was my mom.
Ways.
Like, do not get caught up in the hustle and bustle and miss this opportunity to be there with them, because it's going to mold them. It makes me understand. That's why it's so important for me to be there for my kids and not miss anything.
Yeah.
So whether you're there, you're absent, or you're present, it's going to mold the individual that you're raising into the adult that they're going to be. So the last piece of balance, dog.
That's for last, man.
Yourself.
Gotta love self. Start with you.
No, you tell me. You got a better balance than me, man. You out here riding, letting the wind go through your hair on the motorcycle on the weekend.
You got to, man. It was a nice day. I had to take it out.
I ain't mad at you, dog. I'm just scared to get on one.
I was scared at first, and then you get on it, you get the confidence, and you just like, oh, man, I'm cool. Only thing you look out for are the drivers around you. Yeah. But with our job, we already doing that nonstop anyway, so it's an easy transition to keep your head on the swivel. Yeah. You always alert, you're always looking out. But just, for me, it's finding that time for myself. self-love, self-care, hobbies, different things like that, that's separated from the family.
Absolutely.
I go out and watch my sports. I'm a basketball fan. I like all sports, but basketball is probably top priority for me. Like right now it's playoffs.
Yeah.
So if I'm not dead tired from work and everything else, I'm going to step out and watch me a game where I can enjoy it, where nobody's trying to, can I get this, can I get that? No, I'm just going to watch my hoops. You know, it's a 2-hour game. So if I could dedicate the 2 hours to myself, it just helps me stay fresh.
Yeah.
You know, working out.
Okay.
Whether I work out before work or after work, I got to work out. If I let too many days go by and I don't work
feel like
out,
yourself.
I don't feel like myself. I feel discombobulated, don't feel right. So working out is just a ritual for me. I got to do it daily. No matter what form and fashion of a workout, I'm going to work out.
Okay.
And for me, I like cooking. You know, cooking is one of my things I like to do. Being in the kitchen is kind of therapeutic.
Yeah.
It also brings people together too. So, you know, you can cook and have people a gathering and stuff like that, and seeing people happy and eating and stuff like that brings positive energy. So just allocating that time for yourself is very important. I know a lot of people in different work paths and fields that are just work, or give all to the family. You got to separate, because if you burn out and you that backbone for your family or whatnot, if you can't be that anymore because you burnt out, then what happens?
I can't tell you how many people I've come across where like they don't have anything to talk about but work. That's all they bring to the table. And I'm like, you try and step out with them to go watch a game and they want to say, hey man, I'm not here for work. I'm here for this game, football, basketball, whatever it is. I don't want to talk about work. If you're not talking sports
related, just stay quiet, because I'm trying to watch the game right now.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And so for me, man, I'm a believer, like you said, that balance is important, but it's not my wife's responsibility to make me happy. Does that make sense? So like what I mean by that, she adds to my happiness. Yeah. But she can bend over backwards and do everything in her power to try and make me happy. Yep. But if I'm not happy with myself, if I don't have those outlets, like working out, for me, the same thing. I love it. If I don't do it, if I have an injury, man, I'm going through it mentally until I'm able to get back to 100%.
We have to get you on the motorcycle, man.
Exactly.
Come on, man.
Yeah, okay. Get on a bicycle. That's about what I do for
man, they ain't go fast enough. We'll get you on a motorcycle, man. I'm going to get him on a motorcycle, y'all. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get him on one.
Yeah, in the parking lot of
you got to start somewhere.
Or someone is closed.
If you go in circles and learn. That's how you do it first. Then we get you on the road.
We'll see. The other things for me, man, are this. Yeah. Like this is, I always felt like I was gonna be doing something like this. I went to school for radio. And I always, you have these visions that I feel like God puts in your mind. I'm like, I don't know, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be either on the radio or a podcast, and I'm gonna be doing it. So I do it at work. I've been on several as a guest, but I'm like, what is something that's my own? This is something I look forward to. Right. Like, this is something.
It's an outlet.
It's an outlet. Yeah. It's organic for me. This isn't work. This is fun. Yeah. And then football for me. I love football and basketball. So I love going to the Texans games. Like that whole week when I know we got a home game, I'm like a kid. Like, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait. You got your
jersey laid out with your outfit,
laid out with my socks. I got to look at it. Like, nah, hold on. These don't go with those because I got a stun on them because they're not going to be ready for that, right? But you got to find those things for you, man, that bring you joy outside of your kids, outside of your spouse, outside of work. Yeah, and that's important to making sure that all those cups are full equally, and you're not leaving somebody out. Yeah. You're not slacking at work because you're giving too much to your hobbies. You know what I mean? You're not slacking at home because you're giving too much to work.
The whole show is about balance. You got to have that balance, and with that balance, you got to have a peace of mind. So if you have that peace of mind and that balance, I think you're moving in the right direction. It might not be perfect at the beginning. You got to figure out what needs more attention, where you need to pull this from, where how to figure out your timing. But once you figure out what works for you, your family, your job, for you to flow, I guarantee your peace of mind, your energy, everything is going to be on the positive end.
And it's okay to fall short sometimes.
It's okay to say no.
It's okay to say no. I know you to death.
Yeah, I'm the king of no.
Yeah, I'm very. The older I get, I'm very protective of my time and my energy. And if we out here doing something that I don't feel like I should be doing in my late 30s,
well, a lot of people waste your time, and people don't identify people wasting their time. So they're just giving themselves to everybody, and it's like once you sit back and look, like this person's wasting my time right now. I shouldn't even be giving them this time. I can use it and put it somewhere else. So I think people have to identify the people that waste their time, but you also have to cherish and value your time.
Absolutely.
Like if you don't value it, you're gonna give it to everybody.
And how is it helping me be a better person? How am I growing as a man?
does it
How am I
benefit
growing
me?
as a husband? If I'm hanging around single dudes, how is it helping me be a better husband, a better father, right?
Yeah, man. Some people you gotta learn too, liability and assets, and that's how it's a business term, but you can go through it throughout your life and be like, okay, is this gonna be a liability to my lifestyle, or is it gonna be an asset? If it's a liability, you probably should cut it loose. Probably should get rid of it. Don't think twice about it. If it's an asset, okay, maybe this is cool. Maybe I don't overdo it, but this can be a part of my life because it's not hurting me.
Yeah.
So that's how you kind of have to go about things and just figure out those two terms, like what's going to be the liability or what's going to be the asset, and just keep moving forward and navigate.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. And at the end of the day, once you find that balance, it's going to get like this sometime, but more times than not, you have all those cups equally full.
Yep.
You're doing it right. And I'm still trying to figure it out myself, man. I'm working every day. I'm praying. I'm reading, trying to become a better version of myself so that I can be the best version for my wife and for my kids. Yep. and keep those cups full, man. So I think that's the end of a good first episode. What you think, dog?
Man, I think so. I agree with you, man. Episode 1 in the books, Everybody follow, tell a friend to tell a friend, spread the word, support. We appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, and I like to end it like this, man. We live in a world of instant gratification, and we fall into those traps of looking to the left and looking to the right, seeing what the next person is doing. Well, we moving on our purpose. So if you stay in your lane,
thank you. I like
you
that.
run
Say
your
it again.
race. You stay in your lane.
Thank you, man.
You on the track. There's lines.
Yeah.
If you stay in that line, you can't step over here. You disqualified, right? You take off running. If you looking to the left, oh, he passing me up. Look what he doing. Look what he posting on Instagram. What's happened to the dude on your right? He passing you up. Oh, let me catch up with the guy on the right. Look what he's doing. Oh, what's happened to the guy on your left? Don't matter. We all running our own race. We're all going to get to our destination at different times, the time that God has for us. If you stay in your lane and you run your race at your pace, keep your head down and grind, keeping those cups even. When you lift your head up, you're going to be moving on your purpose. We'll see y'all next time.
Till then.